Hello, and you're all very welcome to Rua's Movie Reviews. Hello and welcome. How are you doing? I hope you had a lovely Christmas. I certainly did. I had a great time. I had a lovely time with my family. Now, over the Christmas time I saw a lot of films. And there was one film in particular which I'd like to do a review for you guys today. It was a brilliant film. Really enjoyed it. It was basically about a family in Chicago at Christmas time, and they're going away to Paris in France. And the family, like, it's a really big family, you know. They're I think the father of the boy, who's the main character in it, I say he's fairly wealthy now, judging by the house and that the fact that he's flying his whole family to Paris from America. Because I wouldn't have thought that was cheap in any way. Like, there might be a family option, but I'll look into that for you and find out if there is actually. I'll find out the time when the film was made also, that so that we can check it that way. But so the family are going away anyway, and it's the night before they're due to leave, and the little boy, he's causing a bit of trouble. You know, they're having dinner. I think probably like dinner or something just before they went to bed, or so they're having their dinner. But one of the lads, his brother, ate his pizza and he went mental. He's gone like, because this guy, they got loads of different pieces of this particular guy. He liked cheese pizza, you know. So he was really angry, and then he pushed the brother, and then he got sent up to bed to the attic, you know. And they're saying like, so he'd sleep in the attic, and they're saying that like, now his other little cousin, then it's only a little fella, and he's going to not sleep up there with you, you know. But the other little cousin has like a problem. He pisses himself when he drinks loads. And then it's funny because they're saying he's going to have to sleep up there, but he wets the bed as well. And then doesn't it cut to him drinking a can of soda pop? And so in other words, they're saying that, in other words, like, that, you know, he more than likely will wet himself tonight up there with him, you know. So anyway, he's up there sleeping, you know, and isn't there a storm that night, you know, and a really bad storm, and the power lines get cut, and so all the alarm clocks go, so they don't wake up in time to go to the airport, or they wake up and they go mental. There's panic, you know, it's mayhem. They're all running around, throwing soup bags, cases, everything's been thrown around the place, you know, and it's crazy, you know. And then they leave the house and they go to the airport on the flight off to Paris. Brilliant. No, no, that's not what happens, because they've let the boy upstairs. Do you remember the young lad I was telling you about in the attic? They left him upstairs, so he comes out going like, "What the hell's going on? Where's my family?" Do you know? And he's there like, "Oh, this is amazing. I've no family. I can do what I want." So he goes mental for the first few hours at least. You know, he guys, you know, he eats loads of ice cream. He watches films. Do you know? He goes down the staircase in a sleigh. Does all sorts of crazy things. He's having the time of his life, in other words. But is he? Do you know? I don't think so. I think after a while he starts to miss his family and realise. I think that's a big message behind. Although you don't like your family, they're very important to you. You know. So that was brilliant for this point. But then, didn't something else happen? Wasn't people trying to break into the house he was in? And this, the main robber was played by Joe Pesci. Wonderful performance, Joe Pesci. And for me, much better performance than Goodfellas. Incredible. And so they tried to break into the house, and the kid's like, "No way, he won't put up with it." So he says, "No, I'm not having this," you know. So he kind of lays traps around the house for them. And this is the part I have an issue with. I have a bit of an issue with this, because for me, I would have just called the guards and had it done with, you know. But for some reason, this lad seemingly wanted to torture them. And there's a few examples of this. One in particular is where he leaves a window open on a downstairs level of the house, you know, and he leaves the window open. So, but then he leaves it open in that he leaves Christmas decorations on the ground. So when the robber comes in through the window, he whacks on the decorations, you know, and he wrecks his feet or whatever. But like, for me, I would have closed the window. I think he's missed a trick there, to be honest. Do you know? And then he tries irons on top of them from a great height, which clearly would have fractured the guy's skull. He did throw paint cans. Like, he's very, very vicious. He's very vicious, the little child. He's not a bad kid. He's not a bad kid. I think he possibly is misunderstood. He's from a big house. You know, he just wants identity in the house. You know, his other brothers and everything else. So it's tough for him. I grant you that. But also, he's fighting off these robbers in the house, you know, and they're coming at him all of a sudden. He's going, "No," and knocking them back and pushing them back and all sorts of things. And eventually, like, he defends the house, and it's amazing, you know. And And then the man comes home, which was his Christmas wish, and like just in time for Christmas morning, and he's like, "This is amazing! Thanks so much, man, for coming back." He's delighted with himself, you know. So it was a nice story there too, because they all come home, Buzz and all of them. Then, you know, it's incredible. Joe Pesci and the other lad are off in prison, you know. So, but that's, if you break into someone's house, I don't think you can accept that and different than that, you know. So look, it's an incredible film. I would give it 9 out of 10. The reason I'd dock a point there is because I think it's a bit vicious. I think it's a bit sadistic. Again, I would call the guards, but do you know what I mean? I'm not a filmmaker. So, brilliant film, guys. 8 out of 10. 9 out of 10. I'll give it a 9. I'll give it a 9. Leave it there. Competition time.
Congratulations. Congratulations and celebrate.
Now, for this week's competition, I want you guys to write a 3,000 word essay. Now, the subject of this essay is, ultimately, was Sergeant Riggs good for Sergeant Murtaugh in Lethal Weapon? Was he a good influence? I know he was kind of at the start thinking, oh no, you know, he's a bit hot-headed for me, you know, because Sergeant Murtaugh was retired and Sergeant Riggs was a real hot-headed rookie, you know. That's how it started, but ultimately, was he good for him? 3,000 word essay in that, and the prizes are pretty impressive this week. I have a copy of Johnny English starring Rowan Atkinson, and it is signed by Marty Whelan. And I also have a copy of The Real McCoy starring Kim Basinger, and it is also signed by Marty Whelan. So you guys will get both these prizes for the best 3,000 word essay. Guys, I'm going to have to leave it there. It's been a wonderful week. Really enjoyed talking to you. I'll be back next week. The next film I'm reviewing actually it's starring the same actor as in the last film, and it's about a boy and a girl, and then he ends up getting stung by a load of bees, and Dan Aykroyd is in it. So look, guys, I will see you next week. It's been a wonderful time seeing you, and I will talk to you then.